we are live, I'll tell you. Okay, so we are back for the next panel discussion, which is building top-notch alliance networks. And I have great pleasure, first of all, in introducing Detlef Bahrens, who is founder of Baypharma in Germany. Detlef is business development, sales, and supply chain executive with strategic and operational experience in pharmaceutical industries. He is an acknowledged expert in the field of global CRAMS, procurement and offshoring, as well as outsourcing, and having led business development restructuring efforts. So welcome, Detlef. And also we have Lalit Baregama, who is General Manager, Global Business Development, Cadila Pharma, India. As I introduced him earlier, he has worked with multiple reputed companies in India and outside India, including in Ranbaxy, Hikal, Vimta, Wuxi, Aptec, and presently he is General Manager, Cadila Global Business Development. He has contributed from proof of concept to discovery to commercialization of drugs. He has 50 patents and 14 research articles to his credit. So welcome both of you. And in the panel discussion, what we will do is we will discuss some of the topics which were identified by the participants in advance. And then I will also read out some of the questions which come in the chat, online chat here. So we start with the first very interesting question, that how should we create a balanced portfolio between development, that means own development, and external opportunities? So what are your views on that? Maybe we start with you, Detlef, on this.
Yeah, I think it's first of all, I think that topic it's an interesting one, and a lot depends on first the strategy of a company. So if you want to, if you have an own R&D, if you have own manufacturing, for sure, then you intend to manufacture or develop and manufacture later on. I think a lot products by yourself. Yeah, if you want to do that. If you are a virtual company, then you are completely relying on external developments. But I think for me, it's the best probably is a kind of mixture. I think having some, at least if you have some own manufacturing and development assets, you should utilize it. But you should be aware what your core competence is, what kind of products you are good in developing, and I think here you should focus on. And then sees, okay, what can I get around that, in addition to that, from external parties. But even here, I think it's always good to have a decent technical understanding, allowing you to understand and evaluate what's out in the market, instead of just simply buying what you can get and then figure out, okay, that it's causing problems for you.
Yeah, well, fair enough. So, Lalit, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, definitely. Now, from in last 1 decade, I would say, all the major multinational companies are reshaping their R&D, and they are more focused on some niche therapeutic segment, I would say, and they are reshaping the strategy of insourcing as well as outsourcing. So this is the very important point where they have a they have a 10. They would like to develop 10 products in house, or they have at the same time some products for development for utilizing the external partners platform. So it all depends on company's strategy, like which kind of products they would like to keep with them, and what kind of products they would like to outsource for the development. Yeah. And addition to this, again, as a commercial call for the development as well as for internal development, in-house development, or external development, will make a decision, like some companies would like to keep some their key technology, or I would say some key therapeutic niche area of therapeutic segment with them, and they just keep some of the products to do it to develop the products at external technical platform. So this is again, these 2 points make the decision for the company what kind of like product they would like to keep on in-house, and what kind of like products they would like to outsource. As Detlef has mentioned, very important point, like when we are going for external development, it is very important that partner should have that kind of like strong technical platform who can help us to develop the products and deliver on time.
I agree with you, Lalit, and I think one thing, as I like to be always a bit
Lalit,
provocative.
put your phone on mute, please.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I went to a large pharma company, and I think to one of the key R&D guys has said very clearly, large pharma is not innovative. Everything what is in your pipeline is coming from external, so you have to bought it or in-license it. He was looking at me and said, "You're right, but I think the biotechs, I think they are not able to, let's say, to make out of a fascinating, interesting idea with a proof of concept, a marketable product and bring it through registration." And I said, then I was looking in him and said, "You're absolutely right." So I think it's that's a good mixture, I think, to where it is not, I think, completely okay. I'm doing everything myself in the house, and not, I think, I'm let's say I'm buying the ready product. It's a kind of mixture, and I think that's probably, I think, a good idea that you have certain smaller, I think, innovative companies coming back with creative ideas, with new ideas, new concepts, I think, which bringing our industry forward. And then I think we need certain, I think, larger players. I think some are capable then to think about is, okay, what does it mean in terms of required clinical study? What does it mean in terms of, I think, creating a good sustainable supply chain out of it and get it through registration?
Yeah, I think very important topics both of you covered. Very important, if I may add very quickly, one comment is that in line with what you said, Detlef, many companies tended to have this opportunistic approach of alliances, and especially in the development area. One should still remain opportunistic when something opportunistic comes, but major focus should be on the strategy, what we really want. And I think that's a good approach, where the companies decide in advance, okay, this is my overall portfolio strategy, this is what I'll do in-house, and this is what I will look outside, because I would not like to create this additional capacity for this technology or have additional people for doing this kind of development, and this will take me forever if I do that, so that I outsource, and there are other options available. But while I'm looking for it, if something exciting comes up, I will also look at it. So I think that is the thing both of you are saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So fair enough. Very well said then. So now let's go to the next topic, which is how to assess the benefits of outsourcing versus outsourcing or out-licensing high valuable products. So now we are coming not from sourcing in, now we are going to the sourcing out topic. So we have assets, and what should be our key considerations, if I may say. So maybe start with you, Detlef. Any comments on that?
Yeah, so again, I think that a lot depends here on what is the strategy of the company. There are for sure, I think, global companies. I think for them, I think out-licensing of a high valuable product does not make any sense because they are active in all the markets. But mainly, I think companies are not active in every part of the world, so they are focused on certain regions. And let's say if I'm always using an example, if we stay with a simple white tablet, okay, the development cost might not be too high, so that's something what can be managed even for a region. But the products, I think we are now looking in are more complex, would require more, I think, development work, more clinical studies, costs going up, and as well then the volumes only for a specific region are too small, I think, to achieve an appropriate COGS for commercial manufacturing. So looking here to find partners who are strong in other areas where I'm as a company not active could be a very interesting approach to I think generate a better return on invest, de-risk my project, and as well I think increase volumes and hence I think reducing my COGS, allowing me I think to be even more successful on the market.
Would you like to add something, Lalit, to that?
Yeah, so for out licensing, as Detlef has mentioned, each company is having their business strategy for respective market. Either they would like to go by B2B, B2C, or accordingly they can make the decision. Some companies are very specific to keep their approach to some key market, and for other markets they would like to have a partnership, or they can make a kind of like alliances with respect to out licensing only. And the out licensing again, they will not go just giving their dossiers to that respective company, but there are different approaches to make the out licensing deal. Like they can make straight away, they can give that respective technology to the partner, and they can make a kind of like profit sharing model. They can go for a kind of like out licensing deal with respect to the co-development. And initially when they are developing that product, they will keep this in mind, and they will select the partner during the development itself, and they will share the cost of development, but they will keep this out licensing deal exclusively with the partner which they have selected. So there are different approach for the different companies as per their company strategy and their business model.
Yeah.
Lalit, I agree with you. I think that the point of co-developments is a very valid and valuable one, because if you align, I think, at the beginning of a development with someone, I think being active in a different market than yourself, then it's the best opportunity, I think, to have the right partner on board who can as well bring in certain values, I think, to do that. And I can just give the good example. So I was supporting Biocon for a while, and they have their partnership on all biosimilar, or let's say at least on the late stage biosimilar projects with Mylan. So this is a perfect partnership where everyone has certain key strengths, and they are bringing into the project beside of simply the money, and that has really resulted that Biocon Mylan were the first, let's call it Indian corporation, whoever has achieved a biosimilar approval in the US. And I think that's for sure an outcome of a very good partnership.
Yeah, and if I may add, I look at it this way, that I am a pharma company, and it's not necessary and possible for me to be strong in every geography. So if I have a high value asset, and in one particular geography somebody can sell it better than me, and net get more earnings, so it's better for me to partner in that geography with a partner. And so this question about how to assess the benefits of out licensing or outsourcing out licensing, especially high available product, I will look at it that way also from the commercial angle, which is basically similar to what both of you are saying. And also with respect to development, if I have to out license something, the same logic perhaps should apply. So at the end of the day, what is ultimately net giving more benefit? That's the topic, right? Which is what both of you have said.
And I think to add here, I think just keeping in mind that I'm talking tomorrow about niche products. I've seen, or we have seen it a couple of times that in a certain region, I think a product is a niche product. In other markets, I think these products are really big. So to develop it only for your area where it is an interesting niche, probably still with a good price, but the volumes would not justify a development. Here, I think as well, it's a good opportunity to partner with someone and then straight go and I think allowing you to get access to a larger market, I think, where you can then manage, I think, your COGS in a better way.
Yeah, thanks. And in the meanwhile, we have 3 comments from Monica Sharma in the chat box. And Monica, thanks for those comments and completely agree with you. And all those comments. Due to lack of time, I'll not read all those comments, but definitely it is very important that prioritization of resources spent, dollars and FT, and deciding what is strategy in licensing and out-licensing pertaining makes sense from product development perspective as well. And one quick topic I'll touch upon, which is an overlap from the previous panel discussion and this one, where Michael Urban has mentioned that sometimes it is hard to convince and get all functions on board to invest their resources at an early stage of the project, whether its own development or licensing, I guess. I would like to mention over there is that topic of cooperation, internal and external, requires a lot of mindset change, and it comes from the top. So those companies which have where the senior management or the top management of the company, and I'm talking generic space right now, have taken that approach that the CEO or the C-level executives, all of them are ensuring that there is very robust and proper cooperation between commercial, development, regulatory, medical, etc. Those companies are able to always come up with these robust business plans by working together, whereas those companies which are diagonally opposite, where there are a lot of silos and the senior management is not able to bring the culture of cooperation because it doesn't come from the top. In my experience, I have seen that those companies are not able to get to a more cooperative approach or success of the projects. So now, thanks for that comment, Michael, as well. So I wait for further questions in the chat box. In the meanwhile, I go back to the other question, which is in the agenda, which was circulated to us. I guess we have covered this already, but still I'll ask this. What does partnership mean in the licensing business? So in the development, we talked about it. In commercialization, we talked about it. But is it possible to have partnership in licensing business, and how?
I can start. Yeah, I think that's possible, and I even more think it's in the meantime required. Again, I think in the past we were just talking about more, let's call more simple products. I think the products are got more sophisticated, more challenging. So we need to deal differently with products. And if we when looking into let's say partnering a product to various partners in a region, and let's say in Europe, I think we need to think about is, okay, what different prices can I achieve on markets? what does it mean if I'm selling, I think, the product for 1,000 to one partner and for 500 to another one? I think he will for sure figure it out. What does that mean in terms of trust building and long-term relationship? What does it mean in terms of parallel imports? I think, how can I, let's say, protect my customer, I think, in one market from two big parallel imports in other markets? I think if I make a regional deal, I think that's probably not so relevant. But if I'm staying in a region and try to make deals with various partners, that's a very important one. And I think that's only working, I think, if you build up that partnership, if you understand is okay, what are the requirements and specifics for every market? Why is a partner reacting in a certain way? And how can I think, create a business model, I think, which fits for him and myself, and not just saying, okay, this is my general business model, I think, take it or leave it. I've seen it in the past and still nowadays, but I don't believe that this will be, I think, a sustainable one, at least for the future.
Okay. Lalit, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, so I just add to what Detlef has mentioned. Licensing business partnership is again, if we are going for exclusive partner or non-exclusive partner, and either it is one partner or multiple partners. So it all depends on kind of like what kind of like market potential is there, and what kind of like penetration, or I would say in other way, our partners having his presence in the respective market. So it is also very important to select the partner. Like if we are going for exclusive partner, then that our partner should cover a sizable business in the respective region, and at the same time we can also reduce the upfront cost if we are going for any kind of like exclusive partner, and our partner is having sharing more than 20% or 30% of the total overall size of the business. In that way, like we can go with the one partner instead of going with the 2 or 3 partners in the respective region. So it will help our partner to reduce the upfront fee kind of like burden, and at the same time he will get kind of like benefit from capturing or penetrating the market share.
And in the meanwhile, Monica, thanks for your question. Any lessons learned from the panelists around keeping alliances healthy? If I can quickly mention something, is that more and more companies are realizing that alliance management is a major topic. Having the alliances is one thing, and signing on the agreements definitely is very important topic. But what happens after that those agreements are signed is equally, if not more important, because that's when the real fruit comes in. So one of the key learnings, I guess, for most of us in last few years and all along has been that alliance management is not a topic about supplies only or just passing the papers or information. It's really treating the partner with respect, understanding their needs, also finding ways of explaining our needs to them, and create a collaborative alliance, which is extremely important topic. And feel free to add, both of you, if I missed anything in that area, and what other, if you can comment, if there are any other topics which you would like to highlight.
No, I think, Samir, you have well summarized it. I think that's exactly the point. I think building that, I think, relationship, and not as just, as you said, not just act as someone, I think, just sharing documents with someone else. It's, I think, building that relationship, that trust, I think, which allows, I think, to drive projects forward successfully. Because I think you as a partner licensing out or licensing in the product are only, I think, successful if the other party is successful as well. And if both have let's say a portion of the business which is enjoyable for them and helps them, I think, to make a profit out of it, then I think it's a sustainable long-term business where both parties are keen to invest and keen to add further value.
Yeah, and very quickly, one more question which Monica had asked, Monica Sharma, what markets we see as most active for alliance formation with alliance formation perspective. I think we already covered that mostly. I mean, it's mostly basically based on our needs, where we have, so for example, with respect to commercialization, where we find that we are not strong enough and others are in a better situation to commercialize. It could be anywhere. It could be in China, it could be in US, it could be in Europe, depending on where we are. And likewise, with respect to technologies as well. So we are a company which is very good in developing pure, simple aqueous injectables, and we don't have a, for example, hypothetically speaking, coagulation or liposomal technology. So we go to an alliance partner which is good in that and help us. So I guess that's the summary I would take. And what I would also take away from today's discussion is what Detlef and Lalit highlighted, that the opportunistic approach is not the right one with respect to alliances or licensing. There has to be a robust strategy first, and then opportunity can also come in. And co-development and out-licensing, these topics are also equally important as in-licensing or getting something inwards is concerned. So thanks again to both of you, Detlef and Lalit, for your very insightful thoughts. So due to the time limit, we close at this, and then we see you tomorrow, Detlef, and we will be back in about 10 to 20, about shortly with the next session. So thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you, sir.
Being here on the panel.
Thank you. Thank you.